Welcome to the Land Your Bets Sports Betting Live Show. That is going to work today, y'all. The man has fixed his internet at least enough to bring you bets today, as opposed to a blank screen of nothing. So we're going to do that instead of not record anything. I think that sounds like a much better plan. I am going to be joined by Prop Bomb. I couldn't even get that up in time to let everybody know. He was sort of a late ad, but I'm pumped to have him coming forward. He's going to probably show up here about 6 p.m. Eastern to get a couple bets in as well. So we're going to find the bag today for sure, G-Bag. We're going to get some bets in. I already got some bets in too. I've been rushing to get all this stuff from last night and a couple more things for this morning. No Jared Allen. We know that now. So let's go ahead and get this stuff going here. I'm going to pull up everything I have on the bottom line. So I need to add that stuff real quick. And in the meantime, I'm also going to show you a couple things from last night. I took Evan Mobley last night, which means that I did get some pretty good closing line value. I'm almost guarantee that there's no way that that Evan Mobley is still at this number with Jared Allen's news of officially being out. There was still a question that he might play, but I still love this bet. And if you get it at a little bit worse odds, I still think you're good. 10.5 is, if you're going to take it, I would cut it off at about minus 120. So I need to look back at that. Haven't been able to recheck Evan Mobley stuff. So I am going to look at that. But as always, jump in the comments with a bet if you want to go over it together. I'm going to get what I have up here right now for you on the bottom line so that makes sense, but give you a look at these other plays while you're doing it. So yeah, I'm going to go through those comments in just a minute. So make sure you do that. Obviously, significant help to the channel if you subscribe to the page and check out the videos I'm bringing the night before we do the live stream. That really helps you get ahead of some of these lines. Like if you took Evan Mobley last night, you're getting a better number than this morning after Jared Allen is officially ruled out, right? So that's the kind of stuff you want to keep in mind when you do subscribe to the page a little bit better. Not an awesome day yesterday. I'm going to be completely honest with everybody. It was not a good day in a lot of ways. So that is something that we're going to have to work upon today. And I think having Prop Bomb here is going to be really helpful. He and I get pretty surgical. I'm going to brag for him and just say that whenever he is on this show, Prop Bomb has gone, I believe, 23-1 now in his picks that he puts out. So just something to continue to monitor and see how he does on his picks today. But I would be telling those ones that he pulls up today when he shows up. This bet was good last night as well, and it continues to be good, especially with Jared Allen out. But I got ahead of this at 4.5 for Luke Cornett with the assumption it was going to go up. Our man's had 20 rebound chances in the last game. On 20 in 21 minutes. I mean, that's a rebound chance a minute. So he's always in position. I was joking earlier that basically Luke Cornett just kind of enters the court with his hands up, ready to just go get a rebound. Like dude is always right next to the basket, hands up, ready to go and get those boards. So that's why he's been a really good bet to get these rebounds. If you look at what he does without KP, they definitely rely on him, right? As a backup. Hold up. They rely on him as a backup to come in and get those rebounds with, give Al Horford a break and not necessarily make him play too many minutes. So still like Luke Cornett. I think Pritchard is going to continue to be an outlet for people for this team, really, is what I'm trying to say in terms of being able to be the second third pass, not necessarily like the dude bringing the ball up. But when he plays with Jaylen Brown, I'm not going to do that today. I did this a million times the other video. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, as well as Derrick White and Drew Holiday, then Pritchard is a shooter. He's not going to be the dude dishing out assists. Even when he played in that fourth quarter, he still went to the bucket and scored. So I split the unit here to go half of it on the over 1.5 threes because I got that at plus 110. And I put the other half a unit on over 7.5 points in case he decides to score in other ways. And the main reason that he would score in other ways is because he's now the primary ball handler if this game gets out of control by the fourth quarter, like it did last game. Now we're talking about Pritchard more in the assist role and a little bit less of a shooter role. So he'll still get his shots up, but they might not be catch and shoot threes the way that he gets when all the starters are basically, or at least a couple of the starters are on the floor with him. So if you put him at the 20 to 24 minutes that I put him at, regardless of if he's playing garbage time or not, and which he played all of garbage time yesterday, but he's coming in the second quarter. He's a backup right away. So if you give him the same amount of minutes that he's been getting, because his minutes are no longer dependent on blowouts, his minutes are just coming no matter what as a part of this rotation, at least in the early part of these playoffs where the Celtics team is worlds better than the teams they're playing right now, like the Cavs in last series with the Heat, right? So Pritchard's still going to be good in this series. I would imagine by the time we get to the Knicks series, I called it the Knicks series, could be the Pacers, I guess, whatever. Next round, we're probably going to see a little bit less Pritchard would be my guess. So that's why I'm getting in on the action now. And then Josh Green, I think this will keep going up. I mean, I know he had a pretty good game last game, 11 points. That's not strictly what this is based on. I put a half a unit on it. I plan to put another half a unit on it because I was waiting to see about Tim Hardaway Jr. I don't think Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to be as effective as he would hope to be in this series. They got him in for a little bit of garbage time in the last series. Here we go. I'm gonna get this real quick. So yeah, I don't know if he's going to be around as much in this game. Even he played garbage time last game to Tim Hardaway Jr. So that's a big reason for why we're looking at Josh Green instead now and keep riding with him to get his points, because he's going to be the outlet in the corner. That's really what I'm trying to get at here. More than anything, he's going to be the outlet in the corner. So I'm going to add these bets right now and put Josh Green over 5.5 points. I'm putting that at plus 100. Like I said, we're going to have prop bomb on here in a little bit as well, but I ended up putting the full unit on Josh Green because I could not find anything about Tim Hardaway Jr. So let me get these bets up on the bottom line for you guys real quick. I'm going to put Pritchard up here as well. Pritchard, we're going to get him for over 1.5, 3 p.m. I'm sure that's gone down a bit. I think the over 1.5 is not good once you get to like minus 110, to be honest with you. So if you're not able to get this at this point, this is going to be why you should be subscribed to the page, and be honest with you. And then you can get this stuff a little bit earlier when it's still in the same spot as where I got it. And then I'm also taking him over 7.5 points. And that's minus 118 FD that I got that at. So those are 0.5 units on each of those. And then other bet that I had here, as people keep climbing the stream, jump in the comments with a bet if you have one and you want to go over it together. I mean, we got 2 games, so I imagine we'll go over most of these things together no matter what. But got Luke Cornett in here. Like I said, for everybody that just jumped in, going to put Luke K in here at over 4.5. I would still take his over 5.5 rebounds if you get this at a decent number. This needs to be like minus 110 or better as well for Cornett at the 5.5 rebounds. 6 is a number that he hits a pretty good amount. So it actually is an important number to try to stay below the need for him to get more than 6. And you still are losing a little bit of an edge once you add that extra rebound at 5.5 instead of 4.5. So keep that in mind for Lukey K. I got him at minus 125, and it wasn't widely available because I had to take bet 365, which is not a book that I bet with very often and need to find help with. Not going to talk about that anymore. And then Evan Mobley, I also added the other half of the unit as well. So we got that at over 10.5 rebounds for Mobley. And I got that for plus even money, basically plus 100 on FD for Mobley. And obviously this is an even better play now with the news of Jared Allen officially being out. So I didn't even wait for that, to be honest with you, but I don't imagine it's there. So now we're on the bottom line. We got everything we're going to be looking at. I'm jumping back in these comments. I see you guys in there. So I'm going to see what some of these bets that you guys want to look at are. Let's try to start with Boston, Cleveland. We'll do as much as we can before Prop Bomb jumps on. I just sent him the link to get in here as soon as he can. So I'm pulling up a few more bets here. Let's see. We're going to get this bag. I appreciate everybody being in here, man. 36 Chambers in here. We got Aramis in here. Chris Raptor. The time was wrong because I was making sure the internet works. Look how crispy smooth we are today. You can see every freaking sweat gland on my face as it's 100 freaking degrees out here. All right. Looking at Aramis's Tatum 1 block and Boston to win SGP. Averages 3 blocks a game against Cleveland. Paid easily last game. Yeah, I don't mind that with Tatum sort of being a little bit more of a big man for them and needing to do work that way. Let me go ahead and add him up here and get him as one of the first bets that we get. We put in Jason, put Tatum up here. We can look at blocks. That's interesting. I don't play blocks very often, but I'm sure it has a pretty high hit rate, and that's what we're talking about. I didn't look at Derrick White. I did look at Derrick White, but I didn't put him on any of my bets yet. And I know a lot of people like under 3.5. 3 p.m. because I know that is one thing that Prop Bomb put up as well. I'm sure he'll at least bring that up today for a minute. I understand the logic there entirely. It says, Jared Allen's now game time decision. Okay, so he might be playing. Interesting. We got NBA in here. What's good, bro? We'll get Tatum on the under points as well. I know that's going to be popular. Man has not hit his points prop in a grip, right? So I'll get him for the points right here. Got that one up as well. What's good, Oaks? Yeah, we got the Ethernet cable running, boy. So we can actually do our job. What a concept. Once you get that LLC, you got to have write-offs anyway. So what the hell am I doing with my crappy internet? Let's see. Derrick White under 1.5 turnovers from the one franchise. Interesting. All right. I like turnover bets. I don't play those enough. I'm going to be honest with you. There's logic. They take a little bit more thinking, like why or why not. Like this dude needs to have the ball in his hands a lot. That's a big part of it. We'll look at Derrick White turnovers. We got him for under on the 3P right now, but like it scares me to take anything under for him for real. I'll look at Tatum stuff as well. Pritchard with the rebounds. I see that too. I was thinking about Pritchard rebounds. I love using the word sneaky with Pritchard, and rebounds are a sneaky good play with our sneaky athletic Peyton Pritchard, aka white guy. Pritchard we'll look at with the Rebs. Let's just look at a couple. Yeah, I looked at the other stuff. We can look at the rebounds and assists for Pritchard because old Army haircut has been doing that a lot for sure. My man still hasn't gotten his haircut outside of it being super tight on his forehead. Yeah, we got Pritchard in here. We got Derrick White. Yep. Okay. Oh, I mean, yeah, we got to look at JB first quarter points. That's our guy, right? So let me put Jaylen Brown in here. I mean, honestly, Jaylen Brown's just going to keep taking these dudes to the bucket. And if he does, like, he made a decision in the last series where he was basically just like, what am I doing? Why am I not taking Tyler Hero to the hole and punishing him every single damn time? That's what's up. I am outside, man. I'm also a little bit in the doldrums because I had convinced myself that this Knicks squad could beat the Celtics in the next series. And I don't know if I can convince myself of that anymore for real. Horford under threes. I don't have anything for Horford in here. Let me put him in here real quick. Horford. I honestly don't like betting on or against Horford because it's a little bit random, honestly. But if Allen's in, you might just be getting a bit more Horford. I think the Cornet bet is actually even better with Allen in there because of the fact that they're going to need big men. So we got some good stuff from this game up. If you do want to look at stuff from the other one, let me know. I got to put Donnie in here. What am I doing? Good point, Paul Murray. Why do I not have Donovan Mitchell up on the coming next thing? That's ridiculous. Let's look at Donnie. And we'll look at points for him. I mean, assists and rebounds are always in play, but we'll look at a couple stuff for him. Horford, I know we were talking about 3 p.m. I hate playing three-pointers for Horford when ever, to be honest with you, ever, just because of the amount that he takes or doesn't take, depending. So that's fine, though. We'll take a look at all this stuff. Let me pull up what I got so I can share my screen with y'all and get into it. All right, we're going to pull up Boston and Cleveland to kick it off. I'm going to share my screen. God, I cannot tell you how happy, like, just the smooth, it's like the little things, bro. Here, let me pull this up. We're going to start with props.cash. Great time to remind you guys that we got a props.cash little, what am I trying to say? Little promo code if you don't have an account yet. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man. Like props.cash is everything for me right now, is like the starting home base. So that's the only partnership I have, not for lack of options for the record. So that is also scrolling on the bottom line. The code is LYB24. Who do I think going to get the ML tonight? As from Harry. If you're talking about this game, Harry, minus 1,000 or minus 900 probably ain't it for the Celtics money line. I'll just pull that up real quick on the Action Network stuff. You can see that money line right here, plus 600 for the Cavs, minus 900 for the Celtics. And I believe strongly they're going to win, but I'm not paying $900 to win one back, right? That's just, I think Oaks would unfriend me entirely. He would not have anything to do with me if I did that. So Daft, what's up, my bro? Derrick White under RA, looking crispy. Ooh, appreciate it. Oh no, right as you said that, my little, like, you have a poor connection is starting to come up. That's fine. We're gonna keep it going. As long as there's no robot voice. Garland over prop. Interesting. Yeah, Mavs versus OKC. I still don't think you're getting much here. I see you trying to get some money line action in there. I mean, minus 195 for OKC. What if Luka comes out and does crazy stuff? Honestly, like, that would be the thing that scares me. We can talk about that game in a minute, and I'll dive a little bit further into it so we can look at it. But money line for either. I mean, if you're just looking for a money line to add to something else, Harry, yeah, I mean, minus 195 isn't going to help you too much. And the Mavs need to show me something, because that defense for OKC was nasty. The other thing is, like, there was a lot of tight fouls called in that OKC game that was really weird, which really helped OKC, because the Mavs were trying to be aggressive with Shai, and he was getting all these foul calls that kind of seemed ticky-tack. So that kind of scares me, and I need to see what happens there, because apparently in Minnesota, you can just foul anybody all you want, and it's not the same way that they call it, right? Like, we saw Denver just get smacked over and over and over and over. So yeah, let me get into, I'm pulling props.cash up. I'm going to look into this game here and start with the first one we got. So let's look at Tatum in general, right? Now, if you're taking Tatum points, I'm going to tell you right now, and Free Sauce will back me up on this. This has been an under all day, every day, twice on Sundays. He's not even the only one. The Discord's been popping about fading the Tatum points moving forward. I really thought this was going down to 26.5. And it still hasn't. So people, Caesars has a 26.5 hanging if you did want to take an over. But this is still an under for me, bro. Like, I still can't get next to Tatum having to make shots. Now, this is going to be an okay series for him in terms of the shot making. Like, there's going to be mismatches all over the floor. Let's see who guarded him last game real quick. And we can see how that helps us out. So if I go into the box score from last game, and pull up. Let me try to X out a couple of things here. Don't save this, whatever. So if I pull up this box score, I'm going to go into matchups real quick. Here we go. Game uno. Box score matchups. So I'm going to put Jason Tatum on offense real quick and see who was guarding him. And I believe it was Max Strus. So that's kind of barbecue chicken. Like, God bless you, Max Strus. But these shots for our boy, let's see how many were uncontested. So if you go into player tracking, you can actually see uncontested versus contested field goals. If we look at Jason Tatum right here, 10 uncontested shots, right? Actually had more success making buckets on his contested field goals, which you see. It's not like it's that indicative. Like, you can make contested shots. Obviously, these dudes do it every day. But the 2 for 10 for the uncontested stuff is really what jumps out at you. Dudes were probably still jumping out at him, but they were at least like 2 to 4 feet away. So that means he was at least in a position that he should have been making these buckets. And he just straight up didn't. So I'm not going to fade him, to be honest, on the points. But if I was going to go anywhere with Tatum, I would be looking at the under for points. The rebounds we took last game, and I liked it. We got even money, though, for him to get over 9.5. We actually got plus 106 on that bet. So that was a little bit better. What's up, Yoshua? Yeah, we got working internet, fam. We're big time out here. So you can see the boards. Obviously, there's now been 2 games in a row without KP, but he was already getting those boards with KP. And the thing is, KP and Al Horford have had their minutes staggered a lot this series. I'm going to show you how you can see that real quick as well. If you go to NBA Advanced Stats and go into Boston's team page, you can look at their lineups, and that'll really help you understand who's playing with who. So let me go into lineups. Let's see. Yeah. My bad. We're going into lineups. I'm going to just keep it traditional for now. We're going to go to playoffs, and go to, we'll go 5-man lineups. And I'm just going to put Al Horford in here so we can see which lineups he's in these playoffs. So if you look at Horford and the minutes that he's playing, right? So I've just now gone into Boston's team page. I changed this to lineup so I can see who's playing with who. And then I went into the filter right here and I typed in Horford so I can see all the lineups with Al Horford, right? And these lineups for Al Horford are going to look like this. So then I filter by minutes so I can see the most. I'm trying to see where we might get KP. So KP and him played 4.9 minutes together. And then if you look at him with Luke Kornet, who's going to be the backup in this game without KP, there's really going to be like 0 Luke Kornet minutes alongside him. In fact, I can just add another filter and do lineup equals Kornet. And you can see they played, in the whole playoffs, they played 2.4 minutes in this lineup. So, like, really, they're looking at like 4 minutes a game with each other. And if I'd make this for the playoffs and I go to the specific round, let's do the last 2 games without Kristaps, right? So now I dumb this down to the last 2 games without Kristaps. And how often are Al Horford and Luke Kornet on the floor together? And my main point here is those dudes would be the ones taking rebounds away from Jason Tatum, just to get back to that, if this would work. But if they're not on the floor together, it's still just Tatum with 1 big, and Tatum with 1 big has equated to him getting over this rebounds prop in 4 straight, 4 of 5 and 5 of 6 in the playoffs, right? 5 of 6 in the playoffs. That's really what I'm looking at here, is like Tatum in the playoffs, just going bonkers, to be honest. Let me pull up what his rebounds have been. I think this is still a bet. I don't know why I just didn't put this up, to be honest with you. I was trying to get as much as I could out last night. But for the rebounds, I still think Tatum is a good play there, especially because if he's not doing his thing on offense, he's going to want to contribute as best he can. So I'm going to players tracking, going to rebounding, and I'm pulling up the playoffs, and I'm pulling up Boston. So I can see just what he's done for the entirety of the playoffs and all of the 6 games that he's now played. Rebound chances, 14. So even when KP was in there, he was getting more rebound. Like, this is my point, right? Doesn't matter who he's playing with. Even Luke Kornet had 21 rebound chances last game, which is psychotic. But got 21 rebound chances last game, and still, Jason Tatum was right up there with him. I think he had 16 rebound chances in this last game. I can actually just pull it up on player tracking and look at Jason Tatum, 15 rebound chances to get 11 boards. But that's what he's been doing all series. If I look at Jason Tatum in the playoffs, so I'm really getting to a point where I'm just like, well, why wouldn't I do this, right? If we look at these playoff numbers from last year, same concept. So he steps it up big time. 9.5 is minus 134. I'm still going to put a half a unit on it. Like, the Cavs can't shoot. It's kind of rinse, recycle, repeat for me on this bet here. So I am going to put Tatum on the bottom line and just make that a half a unit. I think he's a good ad if you like get him at like 8+ essentially, or something like that on a DraftKings parlay. You get him at something along those lines on one of these sites and get him for over on the rebounds. I think you're still good to go. I'm okay drinking that minus 134. I'm putting a half a unit on it because I at least want to just watch it and see what happens and not feel like I should have done something, to be honest with you. But I like I said, this is a great player. What am I trying to say? Prize picks piece for Jason Tatum on the threes. Jason Tatum parlay. I like that from Aramis, or double rather. I'm not sure what that juice is at still, Aramis, but if it's decent enough and like better than the 130 or so, then I think you're in a good spot to take that. Dom D, are you the one keep bringing the role players? I'll put him up here because I'm the one who's dumb here. Like I haven't taken Isaiah Jackson. I haven't taken Ben Shepherd. I haven't taken Aaron Wiggins or Kason Wallace. I haven't taken any of these dudes. And it's about time that you guys come in with these bets and I put them up. So I'm going to put up Aaron Wiggins, and I might even just blindly take him because you and Crank Zone unless you are Crank Zone, from the Discord, y'all keep coming at me with the role players and you keep being right. And my logic is not wrong, but you guys are right. So I got to at least look at it. We'll see what's good, bro. The Mobley stuff, I can take another look at that. I already got him on the rebounds, but let's go back to what his stuff looks like now. So I got him at even money for the boards, but it's obviously gone up. Like, let's just continue. Let's all agree here in this live stream right now. I knew it. I knew you were Craig Zone. I knew it. The role player guru over here, Dom D. I got you, bro. We're going to look at it. But we are in the middle of making a pact with each other that we will just assume Jared Allen is not playing until that man steps foot on the floor. Can we do that right now? Like, can we still feel that way? Let me look at, I'm going to go to my Twitter account real quick and see what the latest is, if there's been an update there. Monty Morris, Rudy Gobert, Jared Allen game time decision. So yeah, you guys gave me the latest. Keep me updated if you would. This game is it's a 7 p.m. start. That's mad annoying. Either way, that's fine. So we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully we'll be on the stream long enough to be able to get a feel for that. I know Prop Bomb is going to jump on at like 6 p.m. Eastern. So that does mean we'll get some more time with him and make sure that we get that bet out there. All right, let's keep going here. The assists for Tatum are also looking all right, to be honest, just while I've got him up. I'm on Mobley now. Apologies. I still think that's the thing about Mobley. I really thought Allen was like, I'm still just going on the premise that he's out. So if he's out, this is a great bet. If he plays, I don't think it's obviously not nearly as good of a bet. Here's the stuff that I was looking at real quick. I'll just put back up for 1 sec for Mobley. Over in 3 or 4 without him in the playoffs. The one that he went under without Jared Allen was a game that he had to come out for injury for a little bit and came back in that Magic series. But 22 rebound chances on the season, basically like 22 rebound chances in the playoffs and over the regular season without Jared Allen. Over in 6 of 9 during the season. Those rebound chances are so high. This is what he does. We're going to take him under a 3 if Jared Allen doesn't play. That's the Prop Bomb special that I started tailing because he doesn't even attempt a 3 without Jared Allen. I'll just show you what I mean for Evan Mobley real quick. The threes, on the season, he went over at the beginning of the season, or this is in the playoffs, but I don't have without Jared Allen, my bad. Let me do with Jared Allen. So with Jared Allen in the playoffs, he left one of those games, but this is the season with Jay Allen. I'm sorry, without. I'm an idiot right now. Without Jared Allen. This is what I'm trying to show you. 1 for 9, because how many threes did he even attempt? And it's minus 230 now, but how many threes did he even attempt? So he's averaging 0.1 threes. He's taken 1 3 in those 9 games. You see what I'm saying? 1 out of 9 games that he's made one, because 1 out of 9 that he's taken one, which is crazy. So we're going to keep probably rolling with that because it's just he plays close to the basket. He can't be going out and playing on the wing when he's the only center on this team outside of friggin' Tristan Thompson. So keep that in mind. Got to wait on the Allen news because if Allen is in, it's a much different beast, and it's definitely not worth minus 230 or anything like that. But it might still be worth it if you take Allen Mobley under 3s without Allen. I'm leaving it at the rebounds. I do not trust the points. Here's what I want to show you about the points real quick. If I go back into that box score for this game, game 1, I'm going to go to the fourth. I'm going to do the first half and look at Evan Mobley. 2 for 5 with 4 points. That's the first half. Q3, 1 for 2, 3 points. Missed one of his free throws. Q4, 8 minutes, 5 for 5, 10 points. Who do we think was guarding him in Q4? Right? Like, look at who's in for the Celtics in Q4. They took everybody out. So there was Tatum, Brown. At most, they were guarding him for 4 minutes. At most. And I don't think that Jaylen Brown was ever guarding him. It was probably Horford for 4, and then a little bit of Lukey K and some Xavier Tillman and Keita thrown in there as well, right? Nobody calls him Lukey K. I'm not going to do that anymore. But for Kada as well, right? Like, what are we talking about here, man? Like, that's nothing. So there's no way that I feel good about Evan Mobley points. Just to give y'all a little bit of like heed that warning for you that he did all his damage in this last game. If you're looking at this 17 points from last game, right? I should be sharing my screen. My bad, y'all. You couldn't even see what I was doing. But if you do look at his, this is Evan Mobley. I was trying to show you his points, right? So basically, if you look at his points just from abroad and you don't see that he got 10 of these points in the fourth quarter, then maybe 13 and a half doesn't look so bad to you. But without Jared Allen, about 13.6 on the season, and that's in 35 minutes, right? So you've got to pay him for 36 to like 40 tonight, but that's still about what he played to get 13.6. So the edge is just not there for us to take Mr. Evan Mobley. So I'm on the points. I'm going to pass on that as well. I know you were talking about Tatum blocks. I'll just look at the hit rate real quick. Obviously, head to head, it's a nice, decent hit rate. 0.6. Let me do it without Kristaps and see if that matters at all. Half the time that he's going over, it's still a bit of a crapshoot, and it's minus 156 for the over on the block. So it's a no for me. And minus 166 if you need him to get 2 between the blocks and the steals. Still a pass for me. So I'll move on from that. No, Joe. Somebody take Joe's phone. He just put 2.2 units on Dante Exum's 2 points. Wow. My man, I am going to be rooting for you on that one, I promise. Oh, hell yeah. Great look, Oaks. Appreciate you, my dude. Over 9.5 boards on Fanatics, minus 120 and minus 110 if you haven't been limited on Bet Rivers. So all y'all East Coasters and whoever has the Bet Rivers stuff, definitely get on that if you can. I think Bet Rivers is in the Midwest a bit as well, but it's a great look from you, Oaks. Appreciate you, my man, for real. I hope to be as much help as you are on my stream on yours. If you guys are not tuned into Burr Oaks yet, 77 right here, I got his comment up. Definitely want to jump on Twitter. Those soccer streams are fire, and they find some bangers in there. My dude just knows soccer, man. Like, if you want your fucking face melted off with soccer takes, then hit up fucking Oaks. He is not wanting for those, but they're all fire. So much appreciated for you being in here, dude. But great follow on Twitter, so hit him up. All right, keeping him moving here. I have got Tatum up right now, but I'm passing on the blocks. I would go under on the points if you're doing it, but I took the boards for Tatum, so I'm gonna keep moving from him. And the only reason I'm not fading him is I actually, to be fully honest with you, one of the main reasons I'm not fading him is I hope to have Prop Bomb talk about this when he jumps on a little bit. But PB likes the over here for Tatum in this game, and I can't get really against that because a lot of the logic he uses bomb. I'm sorry for the tongue in cheek. It was Prop Bomb, but it was good. So I'm not going to fade him on that. I'm going to look at D White now. Freaking Derrick Michael Jordan White at this point. Let's see what he's done in the playoffs just to be impressed as a team here. This is steals and blocks. I don't care about that. This is points. It's all the way up at 17.5 now. This was down at like 14.5 at times. You know what I'm saying? So we lost the yesterday's price is not today's price. And so now today's price is costing us a lot more to go ahead and want to bet on Evan Mobley. So keep that, for Derrick White. So keep that in mind. Hold on one second. I didn't do my due diligence here. All right, let's get it back going. Have to tweet it out for the people. I didn't even let everybody know that we're doing this. All right, so moving forward here with D White, like why wouldn't we take Derrick White? Well, there's a couple of things. If you were following along on, I forget where it was that they were talking about the JB Bickerstaff stuff. So JB Bickerstaff, head coach for the Cavs, mentioned that they can't let guys get catch and shoot anymore. And if you want to talk about who's doing the most catch and shoot in the playoffs, basically, it's going to be a lot of Derrick White. And Derrick White is the beneficiary of the fact that he's on the floor with Tatum and JB at the same time, right? So if we go to spot up, let me look at the regular season real quick. So I'm on players play type inside of NBA Advanced Stats. All of this stuff is in the description of the video as well. We got links in there. I've got a few really short tutorials on how to use some of these tools. So definitely want to make sure to jump in there and check that out on the YouTube page. Quick subscribe plug if you would. But if I'm looking at players play type, the point is I want to see how these dudes might be scoring, right? This is all going to be points per game for the most part. So if Derrick White's on the spot up, I'm going to filter this down here with this little filter tab to team equals Boston. If I could type I would write team equals Boston. And if we look at the on a possession, it's still Derrick White for this team. He's at 4 spot ups per game during the regular season. In the playoffs, this has jumped up a decent amount, and he's being left open because teams really have to account for the way Jaylen Brown is dominating, as well as Jason Tatum still being a threat, even if he hasn't had a good shooting playoffs. But if we look at the playoffs as a whole, the only person with more possessions, and at this point, Naz Reid's the only one left, but Herb Jones too had a little bit more of a possession in terms of being a spot up shooter. But my man D White is at 1.58 points in his 6.3 possessions. So he is leading the playoffs in points off of spot up, which is very similar to catch and shoot, which is under, I believe, tracking is going to be catch and shoot. So even if you want to do catch and shoot this way and you go into playoffs and you look at, what am I still on players? Yeah, we're still players, catch and shoot. And I just changed it to the playoffs, get stats, Derrick White, right? So spot up and catch and shoot are pretty interchangeable. I just wanted to make that clear to you. But if you look at the play type, it's called spot up. If you look at tracking data for a player, then it's called catch and shoot. Either way, it's what Derrick White is doing a freaking shit ton, right? And so the only dude in the playoffs with catch and shoot is Michael Porter. You'll have to get into the nuances of spot up stuff another time to see the difference. But you get what I'm saying. So if they want to limit the spot up, one, I don't care, because what does that mean? You're going to leave Jason Tatum open? Two, maybe there's a few more assists for D White, right? And he probably is not driving as much in the playoffs. So I'm going to look at tracking data, go to drives, because what I want to know, and the story that I'm building here for this bet is Derrick White passing when he drives? Was he driving more during the regular season? What's the deal? What's the deal with that? So let's look at players tracking drives, right? So now what we're looking at is how often does Derrick White drive? So I'm going to go to all teams and go to Boston. So I'm just looking at Boston's players during the regular season. All right. Now I'm looking at field goal attempts on the drive. So D White's third, 2.7 per game. Obviously fewer than the two dudes with the ball in their hand, even more than he has it. So we got Derrick White 2.7 in the regular season. Let's change this to playoffs, and see what that does. Field goal attempts in the playoffs for D White, 2.8. So about the same. He's just taking more shots, man. And he's playing a few more minutes. So that all makes sense. So he's still getting more catch and shoot, and he's getting the same amount of drives. On his drives, he passes 1.5 times out of the 5 times that he's driven. I think this number goes up is my main point. And I'm going to look at the last game real quick. Last game for this team, how many times did he drive against the... Okay, 4 times. How many times was he looking to pass? He had 1 assist, 2 passes on his 4 drives. So if you expect this to go up because he's not allowed to take 12 threes, that's what we're saying here. Is dude took 12 threes in this game, right? Just to show you what I mean. D White, 7 for 12. Now, if he goes 7, I don't think he's going to go 7 for 12 consistently, but I'm not ruling out that if they let him shoot that 3, he'll take it 12 freaking times. But they don't want him to do that, is my point. So where we're at in this story is he's going to drive more. He already passes half the time that he drives. So if you double this, now he's at 4. A driving assist is a pretty solid. You can depend on that hitting a good assist there, right? Because what we're looking at is Derrick White driving. Once you get to the rim, you either got a wide open dude that's out on the 3, or you've got a dude that you can just throw it up to at the rim in the dunker spot. So driving assists are going to be really, really consistently turned into actual assists, right? Driving passes, rather, potential assists. Those are going to turn into easy buckets. So that means that the likelihood for assists is high. So you can tell the story that I'm building here. First of all, 4.5 assists at over 132 is crazy high. And it's not a terrible bet for him. The problem is going to be if Jaylen Brown is unstoppable, then that means those potential assists are not going to quite be there for him. I'm going down to look at potential assists real quick, which I guess is all the way at the top because I'm on assists. My bad. So he had 7 in yesterday's game and got 5 of them. 7 potential assists, and I'm telling you, I think he's going to get a few more potential assists in this game. So 4.5, and we get plus 132. Am I fucking high on that? I'm going to have to ask Prop Bomb as soon as I let him in here because he's about to jump in here. Look at that fucking punctuality. Love you, bro. I'm looking at Derrick White right now. Let me just bring you in and bring this right stuff up because I'm on a heater right now making my Derrick White point, and I want to see what you think. Let me get the right bidder up here. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, it's going well. These shows happen to be really good luck on both ends whenever I join on, so I just got to keep riding the wave.
I told him. I was like,
great shows. Yeah.
What are you at? 23-1?
I'm not even fabricating it too. I mean, it's 23-1. I forgot what the one loss is, but it's like every time I come on here, man, it's like we just crush the props.
I know. I know. It's having multiple angles. You know what I mean? Like two brains are gonna be better than one. And honestly, man, like you're the best to have on the show at times because like you really enjoy getting into the surgical nitty gritty of stuff and showing people how we find good bets. You know what I mean? I think it's a pretty cool bit. So the one thing I was trying to see here is Derrick White. I'm thinking, and I know you're at least on my page in the sense of he's not going to get as many threes off this game, right? That's a bet of yours? Is Derrick White under 3.5 threes, I believe?
That was the first bet I put on today. That was my first look.
And your reasoning behind that was a little bit of JB Bickerstaff telling us that's what he's going to do, and a lot of bit like positive or negative regression has to come at some point, I imagine.
Yeah, the logic I used here too was that I look at the first half and the second half splits as in terms of catch and shoot 3-pointers that the Celtics had.
Yeah,
the Celtics were 0 for 8 on catch and shoot 3-pointers in the second half last game. I really do think that they made some adjustments, and if Derrick White is going to beat you going tightly contested pull up 3-pointers, then so be it. But most of his obviously better looks come from catch and shoot.
right.
He also went 2 for 2 in the first quarter or the first half on pull up 3-pointers. So what I did was I thought I went and I was like, I think he's going to probably have 6 to 9. He's definitely going to shoot. Don't get me wrong, but like if he has like 6 to 9 3-pointer attempts, that's kind of like where I envision him seeing, and he goes under like that prop in 75% of games.
Yeah, you're saying when his attempts basically aren't there, then it's not as good. And if the catch and shoot isn't there for him, then obviously it's not as good either. So he's still going to get the ball, like you were saying. Like it's still going to be him as sort of like the second or third pass once Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown try to initiate some action. If Jaylen Brown could get stopped like one time, then they'll run a different play besides him just shooting because he's just been on a complete roll, right? But if he does get limited, that helps. Then the ball swings to Derrick White, but now they're looking for that, so they're forcing it out of his hands. And that's the last thing that I was just showing everybody was like his assists to me are a pretty good look here. If you're actually getting plus 132, and that's what I was making sure I wasn't getting wrong.
Okay.
Plus 132 on FanDuel for him to get the 5 dimes, which he did last game. He had 5 dimes on just 7 potentials. But my main point here is I think the thing that helps us is like he passes on about 50% of his drives. He had 4 drives last game. If you're driving to the hoop, a pass to either a wide open 3-point shooter or somebody in the dunker spot, that's a pretty good likelihood that you're getting an assist off that, right? So if he's going to drive, let's say 2 more times, 3 more times, and get another 1 to 2 potential assists over there, well, then that's like some pretty high quality potential assists that could easily turn into those. So I've fully convinced myself I should probably just take the points alongside it in case to protect myself in case he goes absolutely cuckoo bananas again, right? But I think for the plus 132, it's worth it for a sprinkle for me. So yeah, I'm adding that to the card. Was kind of one of the points that I was making a minute ago. And I only like the fact that you like the threes more to sort of help me with my case in the terms of the under there. So
yeah. This game I studied the whole entire day. Like I probably put like 3 or 4 hours into. I came into today's slate thinking that like remember how I was telling you in the previous show, like game 2s you don't really want to overreact too much. Like, but I really. I mean, I put this series, like I rewatched the games, like I looked at like the post game pressers and really studied kind of like all the adjustments that I kind of see happening in game 2. And actually I have 4 player props for this game. This is like the most I've had since like game 2 of the Magic Cavs series. So
wow.
I feel like I have a good read on this one.
Yeah, I love it. You're talking about for Cleveland Boston, right?
Yeah, this game in particular.
Yeah. We'll start with we're still do you mind sharing some of those?
Yeah, for sure. The first play is what we both are on, right? The Derrick White under 3.5 threes.
Yep.
And I mean all the plays correlate, right? So the next play is going to be also on the Celtics. Sam Hauser under 6.5 points and assists. I mean, you watch the footage and like you could about 90% of the plays when the Celtics were on offense, Hauser is over there just kind of standing by the 3-point line, hoping that the defense is kind of crashing on Tatum and like, just he like the offense kind of leaks out and, Tatum passes out to Hauser. But about like 90% of the time, you had Donovan Mitchell or Sam Merrill. They're kind of like this. I'm going to kind of like impersonate what happened. They're like this. Like, they're just like looking back, like to see if the ball is getting to Sam Hauser. Like they're just completely denying any type of passes going to his way. They're treating him like he's Steph Curry out there.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why, he played 17 minutes last game. He only attempted 1 shot. If you think he attempts 5 shots, right? Like the data backs it up. I don't want to like say the hit rate without saying it, but why don't you just show, I guess, like the viewers, like, if you go on Props Madness and
for sure,
let's just go on Props Madness.
Yep.
Honestly, I think he plays up to 15 minutes. He played 17 minutes last game. 4 of those minutes came when he came in the game for garbage time. So realistically, if the game is a bit closer, he probably plays, I would say, around 10 to 15 minutes today. You put in the filter, you do 10 to 15 minutes. And we're doing the under 6.5 points and assists. So even if he hits 2 threes, we're still safe with that. Because what's the chances he gets an assist, right? I mean,
very low.
So, you do 10 to 5. I would switch this to PA. Okay. And then what I do is put the 3-point attempts filter from 0 to 5. Or I would do 1 to 5. I mean, he probably makes 1, right?
Yeah, that's fair. This is attempts or makes?
Attempts. So attempts. So he attempts 1 to 5 threes and plays 10 to 15 minutes. And then one of those misses, right? That 9, he shot 100% from the field. Like, I think there's a really good hit rate on this one. So
against the Bulls, that
makes sense too, right?
Who are terrible 3-point defense. Yeah, exactly. Because they sell out and then you get a wide open 3 after they miss the steal, right? That's all fire. The Heat game, he made the 2 threes. Did he have a dime then? No, he went.
He had a dime. I don't know what happened in this game.
Yeah, he must have got an assist. And same with the
but also he took 5 3-pointers. Like I told you, I don't even think he takes more than 3.
Right.
Like if there was an attempts line, I would hope that I would take the under on the attempts.
Yeah. I think you can play that on Prize Picks actually, but if you want to take the under on attempts. So that's a good look for all you Prize Picks underdog people out there. I like that look. I do like it. Once you peg somebody as like not made for the series, then just keep going back to the under once you get a feel for the rotation and all that kind of stuff. Like I'm fully on board with that and feel what you're saying. So
and it's like, I don't think it's overreacting too, right? I mean, I'm just kind of like watching. They just like truly respect this guy, as a sharpshooter, and they're just not. And that's just how the Cavs play. Like they have Sam Merrill out there to shoot threes and just play defense on Sam Hauser. You know.
Yeah, well, look, that is wildly correlated with my Peyton Pritchard over on the threes because it was plus money for him to take over 1.5, and he's actually been in the corner. Luke Cornett is up above the break on the wing, and then once the ball gets to Hauser, like you said, he's just completely like swarmed.
Yeah, they're like this.
At the very least. Yeah, there's just like as soon as he gets it, it's like get back. But then you got Pritchard in the corner, and that's where he took 5 shots from the corner yesterday, and that's more than
I would say a good thing with Pritchard too. Something that I was reading about, the Celtics kind of use him as like the last second shot chucker kind of guy. So it's like if he's on the court and there's like 1 second left, like he's the go-to guy that they're gonna give the ball to and like make him just hit a shot. Like I think he lives for that kind of stuff,
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that makes total sense. I had some people ask me about Pritchard for rebounds and assists, like not together, but either of them. I mean, he's feisty on the boards. I'll give you that. It always scares me to take his boards, but if anything falls to the floor and it is not caught out of the air for a rebound, it's probably going to Pritchard. Is got to have
right. Yeah, he definitely likes to scrap the boards for sure.
Yeah. He's kind of on the bottom of the ocean there, just picking up the scraps. But like, I don't know if I want to do much with that. Did you have a thought about anything for Pritchard at all? Any of these?
Pritchard. I don't know, like if the garbage time affected his like inflated his stats at all. I'm not sure what he did in those.
Let me look at Q4. Yeah, I got the box score up here, so I'll go to. I know he played the whole fourth. He took 4. Yeah, he hit 2 of his threes, his 4 threes in the fourth.
But I just think the Celtics the Cavs are going to do what the coach pretty much said and just you contest those pull-up 3-pointers and you completely try to eliminate those catch and shoot threes.
Yeah. My thing is like because of where he is on the depth chart, I was fine taking Pritchard on the over 1.5 threes. I also just put in over 7.5 points. It was something I felt like I could trust a little bit more. And my main reasoning there is like he's playing with Jason Tatum, Derrick White, and like some version of Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derrick White, Drew Holiday. There's 2 of those 4 guys on the floor with him all the time, except for in that fourth quarter when they didn't play anybody. So when that's the case, he's not point guard Peyton, right? He's off ball guard Peyton. It's like, yo, we'll call your number when it's your turn. Don't worry, PP, you know? So I think that's going to keep being the case here because he's getting like, I was looking at popcorn, right? Machine.net, another little handy dandy thing, because it allows me to see that he came in this last game. He came in right around the like 6-minute mark. Once again, he's like the first sub off the bench.
He has 2 different roles. Like he's the Drew Holiday replacement, and then sometimes he's the just off-ball guy.
Right, 100%. That's what he was right here. He came
That's
out.
The rotation though. Like if you notice, every single Celtics playoff game, Drew Holiday is the first starter that's off the court, and it's usually like right around the 6-minute mark. Yeah.
Well, and to be fair to Missoula, that is, I believe, what I've garnered from it is that like that's because when it's like Hauser, Cornette, and like in the second quarter, basically, when you have like all these backup white guys, basically, they're like, well, we need Drew Holiday on the floor. Like we need our best defender on the floor, and then one of the Jays as well, and then they're good with however they run that. So like Missoula is at least aware of what he's doing there. But yeah, Drew's the first one to come off, almost just to come back. And to be fair, like he might be the worst of the starters. Like even
he's annoying to bet on.
I know.
He's always
I know.
Guy,
yeah. It's almost like he's always wanted this, though. He's always wanted to be like, oh, I don't have to shoot if I don't want to. This is great. I'll just play really good defense and play on a championship team.
He can afford to play better defense. Like, you know, it comes with the price. So
same. Yeah. So I think Drew Holiday is a bit of a stay away these days without him like really piling up counting stats. So not really worried about looking at him. But did you have anything? Is there a player that you're looking at in the event that Allen does or does not play? And I think we're probably leaning towards like, why would he play in this one? But he could.
I just keep seeing reports, man. Like the last report I saw was that some Celtics or Cavs like staff that worked at the arena apparently bumped into him on like the elevator and like he couldn't raise his hands or something. I don't think. But again, we should be safe. You're asking what would change. I guess like we'll approach that when the situation comes. I'll still be on.
That's fine. That makes total sense. I mean, I already hit Evan Mobley and I got it at plus even money for him to go over the boards.
I want to talk about Mobley. I want to talk about this because
get in there.
You remember how like last game I was like all over the under 0.5 threes without Allen? Like that was like a staple play for me. I was watching that game 1, man. He had a lot of sets where like Mobley, even without Allen, Mobley actually was ready to catch and shoot a 3. He just didn't get the looks. So I would not take this prop anymore. Just after seeing it, I think it's a clear stay away. Yeah, I think that there could be even without Allen, like they're going to want to set him up. I was definitely wanting to bring that up.
Yeah, no, 100%. And dude, you are the voice of authority on the Evan Mobley under 3-pointers. So if you say stay away, that's good, because I was saying earlier how I was just showing people that he's actually only taken 1 3 in 9 games without Jared Allen this year, which I know you know. So that is at least something to keep in mind. But if you're saying that you were looking for it last game and you noticed that there was like times, because I think you bet it one more time, right? Like minus 180.
Yeah, I bet it 4 straight times. And like I rewatched that game twice in the first 3 minutes. You saw Mobley on the corner 3, just waiting to get the ball.
Yeah. So that's a little bit scarier then in that sense.
Yeah, like in the Magic, like he didn't really do that, but he's definitely running different sets, and like the data is not going to account for that because it hasn't happened yet, right?
Right, 100%. Yeah, 100%. And he didn't even take one. So it's like I would want to see him take a couple too. But like, it's not worth it at minus 230 anyway at this point, unless you have that surefire feeling or understanding of it. But let's look at there was a couple others that you had for this game.
Oh yeah. So I talked about Sam Hauser. I talked about we both like Derrick White. Yep. What I was looking at also on the Celtics, if we both think that the shooters are going to be kind of like cut out, eliminated, who's going to score points, right? And I think that also correlates to my third Celtics player. That's going to be Jason Tatum. I like his over. I like his over 26.5 points. You look at the graphs, he hasn't hit it in 5 of his 6 games. But game 2, that game where he hit it, that green game, is when I feel like what's going to happen this game is that they just bait Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to go full ISO mode, let them get their mismatches. Like let them drive as long as they're taking the twos and the Celtics aren't hitting their 3-point shots. Like I think the Cavs are going to be all right with that because it's like a math battle at that point, right? It's like let them beat you with twos and not threes. So if he starts to like drive more and gets those like mismatches, they don't double him up. Like I think he's definitely going to score more. And also too, last game he was 2 for 9 on pull-ups.
Yeah.
He was 2 for 9 on pull-ups. And on, when he plays at home, he shoots 43%. So he shot 22% last game. It's not like, he's taking bad shots. It's just poor luck.
Yeah.
I think the 26.5 number is a little too low. I think he finishes with 30 points tonight. Yeah, I think this is definitely a Tatum game. We saw Jaylen Brown step up in game 1. Derrick White had that game 5 game. It would make sense now that Jason Tatum is the guy who steps up this game.
100%. And by the way, 4 of those 9 pull-ups were threes. He was over 5 overall from 3. Yeah. So, I mean, there's got to be positive regression coming at some point for Jason Tatum. Let's put it that way. Just to show everybody what you're seeing here. Like what I was just trying to show is what Prop was talking about, where this is one way to look at it anyway, where you could go to NBA Advanced Stats, and this is gonna be player tracking data. It was the same stuff as catch and shoot that we were looking at earlier, but it's pull-up shooting instead, and then just filtering it down to this last game and seeing he went 2 for 9.
Yeah, 2 for 9. Yeah.
And 4 of them were from deep, right? So that's a really bad effective field goal percentage for somebody who was probably up at a lot closer to like 55 to 57% effective field goal during the season, right? Like that's going to be way worse right there. So that tells you a lot. Yeah, that's why I was also telling people, like, while my obvious inclination is to just go, oh, look at all this red for Jason Tatum. He hasn't gotten over on the points, right? And I'll look at PM.
Yeah, like, people are going to say, look, he's been inconsistent. He hasn't hit that in like 5 of his last 6 games. But that's why that line is still 26.5. They factor in that he's probably going to bounce back.
Yeah,
100%. As guys, as prop bet guys like us, we want to make sure we are the first to hop on it before it adjusts.
Precisely. Yeah, 100%. Exactly. And that's you just got to call it at some point. And like it can't be that way. I was trying to show like his averages, especially percentages, are just they've been so much worse. Like that's why it's an average, is because when you shoot below it, it means you're likely going to shoot above it in the coming future. Right, exactly. So it ends in the average, right? It's just pretty simple there. That's what we call hood math. But for what's that?
No, I like that quote.
Yeah. I can't even take credit for that. If Daft is still in here, he's the one that made that up. So good on you, Daft. But let me see real quick. I want to see if I missed anything else. I believe you have one more for this game. Is it a Cav?
I have a Cavalier prop. Yes. Yeah. This one's a little bit risky because it is factoring in that Jared Allen is out. Last series, look, he didn't make that much of an impact because I guess like defensively they didn't really need him, but this series against the Celtics, the Cavaliers are really going to need Isaac Okoro. Isaac Okoro is a lockdown defender, probably their best defender that they can put on Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown or Derrick White. And with that being said, that's going to secure him a lot of minutes. I honestly think he gets like 28 plus minutes. And I was looking at kind of like how the defense was treating him last game. He had 11 points. He got the start, and he attempted 11 field goal shots. He went 0 for 3, I believe, on his drives. So like definitely some potential and upside there if he made one of those. Yeah. And he went. He had eight of his 9 jumpers were open to wide open. Al Horford was him. Like they do not care if he shoots the ball.
Right.
So this is just like a clear like role player. I mean, you live and die if he gets the volume and doesn't hit it. Yeah. But I just think he has the easiest matchups. While like the Celtics defense will, figure to like trap Mitchell, put more attention on Garland, put more attention on Mobley. Okoro is probably the guy in the lineup that has like the least likelihood of seeing a tight coverage.
Right. Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, I'm showing what you're saying here. So there's wide open and there's uncontested, right? And wide open is going to be even like no one within like 6 feet, I believe.
Oh my God, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's 9 uncontested field goals alone. And this is like, I believe, within 4 feet is uncontested. It's a little bit different of a definition than the wide open shot, which is not on this one, but wide open is a different tool that I would need to use. But even if you just go in the box score and go to player tracking from game one, you can see 9 uncontested field goals, right? And like he's going to be that way. And that's in 28 minutes. It's not a dude that you expect to shoot that much. I tried to get in on the rebounds. I believe that was before our last show that we did together too. And it was just like,
by the way, not to interrupt, it is official. Allen is not playing, so it's official.
Thank you. Yeah. No, that's very helpful.
Yeah, they just released the lineup. Someone just said, I'm looking at the comment section. Someone said they removed the DK props, and I'm like, yeah, probably because they released the lineup. I checked, and Mobley is starting at center.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that makes total sense. So
that's great though for the Okoro prop. I bet it moves to 8.5 now.
What was the Okoro prop? It was points.
7.5. Yeah, 7.5 points.
Yeah,
I kind of like the PRA, but I'm just going to go with the points. I don't know, like.
Yeah,
definitely had potential with the rebounds and assists for sure.
Yeah. If there's something up, if it comes back up in a minute, I think it's going to be 8.5. To your point about the points for Okoro.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go right into FanDuel real quick.
Check what it
see
is.
what it deals with that. It's got to be up if those other guys are up. Yeah, 8.5 is plus 108.
Okay, not bad. Yeah.
So what did you get it? You got 7.5?
I got 7.5 minus 120.
Okay. But I mean,
that is if you do an alt props, like see what that is now. I'm curious what it is on FanDuel.
So on FanDuel, you can't get an alt that's lower than his 8.5. I don't think, right? You've got to take but you can do it on DraftKings. I know that. So we can see what his alt, if you wanted to go just tick it down a bit and use it as a parlay piece or something to that effect. So going to player points, looking at his alt stuff for Isaac Okoro. Yeah, you have to take over. You have to go higher as well, unless they give you the over under alt. Let's see. Yeah, hold on. I think I can do it this way. So keep scrolling down if you don't find what you're looking for. You can get over 6.5 at minus 175. They don't want you to take 7.5, so they kind of jump around like that. Still probably decently worth it at 6.5 if you liked it at 7 at minus 120. You lose 55 cents. Might not be that great at that price there. But either way, you
have one more look though. Potential look. It's actually going to be Evan Mobley. Yeah. I want to get your thoughts on this. One's a lean for me right now. I kind of like his over 13.5 points. You'll see last game, like he had like 7. He finished with 17, but 9 of those shots came in the fourth quarter. They just like
5 of them. Yeah,
it was exactly how I called it last game. The Bam Adebayo role, like let him beat you. Inside. Yeah. Don't put 2 defenders on him. Single coverage him, and just give him the usage while Donovan Mitchell and Garland are like being locked up by the Drew Holiday or Derrick White.
Yeah. So the only thing that would scare me if you use this as any kind of use case is that he took 5 of his shots in the fourth.
Right.
He was going into the fourth with 7 points and scored 10 in that last quarter. And that last quarter was against, like the majority of the time it was not Tatum, Brown, Horford. That was 4 minutes of the fourth.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah.
So that's one concept to consider is like, is he better than Xavier Tillman and Neemias Queta and maybe some even Luke Cornett? Then he's faster and better than those guys. Honestly, to be fair, like I thought Luke Cornett would do a better job on him if he guarded him. But either way, like I don't hate it by any means. I think the thing that would scare me is the amount of shots. So he took for the game. He took the 12 shots, which means 5 in the fourth and 7 in the first 3. He's got to take more shots than 7 in the first 3 quarters.
Right. Yeah. I mean, mess around with the filters, man. Like, let's see what happens if he takes 11 to 15 shots, right? Like that's pretty safe.
I think that's safe. I think 15. I think he should take 15 shots. But I mean, you got Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah. Set the filters.
So let's do.
I would put the minutes at like 30, 34 plus or 32 plus, whatever.
Yeah. 34 plus. I think that's fair. Let me do the whole season too. Come on now.
I would also do games with Donovan Mitchell and Garland because like they missed a couple of games.
Yep, games with them and without JA.
Yeah, for sure.
And then
well, you could do without, but just make sure the volume you can take that out and just put the volume at like 12 to 16 and see what that looks like
for shot.
Yeah, just like the volume. Yeah, 12 to 16.
12 to 16. I think that makes sense. Hang on. 12.
I think it's just going to be Mobley and Okoro who they're going to let beat. Like they'll lock up on the other guys.
Yeah.
Look at the hit rate. Wow.
Yeah, that's a nice hit rate.
Oh, that line should be 16.5. I feel like, did it move or is it still 13.5?
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't think it moved much. Player points, and I think last game, 13.5 minus 110. I think last game's sort of dud for part of the game helps you here. He was just super unnoticeable for a long time, and I agree with you that it seemed like he never got double teams. They were happy to let him shoot, but they didn't get it off. I do like the bet right here from Free Sauce. You got the double for minus 120 for Mobley.
Yeah, solid for sure.
Yeah, that's a solid look right there because the rebounds themselves, if I just pull this back up right here, if I just go to rebounds on DK as a example, the rebounds for him are it's 11.5. So you get the double for minus 120. I don't know if that's still available. Probably not, but that's a great look. And I think that's okay. So DK has it that's 7.5. That's something else that you guys are talking about. Either way, the double, pretty good look there if you can still get it for a decent amount. Let me see what it is right now, so we don't just recommend something that's super gone. But the double for Evan Mobley, yes, is minus 165. So it might be better. Shop it around, obviously.
Oh, wow, yeah. 20. Yeah, I had a feeling those were probably odds that Free Sauce got before the Allen news broke.
Oh, yeah. My guy was in the Discord last night dishing that out. That's how you get your own channel in the Discord, by the way, is you consistently put out good looks and people are clamoring to hear what you have to say. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Post it in the Discord. Appreciate that, man. It's really juiced. It's not a bad parlay piece if you were going to use it as a parlay piece for Mobley. I think minus 160 to add to a parlay for something that's like, is he going to get 10 boards is what we're saying. I suppose the points could fail. Look, all of this goes to shit. If Cleveland is down by 25 at the half, then it's like, now we're in no.
That's the thing, though. It's like, I don't know. I think if I just my philosophy of this game was that, simply put, I just don't think the Cavs were ready. They just came off of Game 7. They had maybe 2 days of rest, and in their mind, they're playing. They just played 7 games against a Magic squad that doesn't really shoot 3-pointers. The Celtics are a complete opposite. So I feel like Bickerstaff, saw the game footage, and I think there's going to be a lot of adjustments made to take away those 3-point shots. Yeah. So and that could maybe keep the game closer.
Yeah. No, that's maybe fair.
Cavs to cover the first half or something. I don't know.
Right. It's 8.5. I thought about that, which also reminds me, I don't know if you've looked at, do you do much first quarter stuff? I think sometimes you do get.
Yeah. Sometimes I do them for sure.
Yeah. This man is a freaking bully. Jaylen Brown.
Yeah. It's going to be the Brown and Tatum show. That's what it's going to be tonight.
That's what it was last.
Two guys beat him in ISO and cut out all the supporting casts.
I think you're 100% right there. You've got Tatum got 6 last game in the first, or this is 9 in the first quarter. Obviously, Jaylen Brown left his body and got 15 in that game with 4 free throw attempts. He's being guarded by Okoro, and they got Max Strus on Jason Tatum. That was the matchup to start the game. That's barbecue chicken. I like Okoro as a defender, but he's 6'2", 6'3", man. He's just
Okoro guards. Does Okoro guard Derrick White? Are they gonna? Who are you gonna put on?
It seems like they're happy leaving Okoro. I'm just going back to matchups real quick. Do we think anything's going to change? So if I put Okoro in here, he was guarding Jaylen Brown, and Max Strus was on Jason Tatum. So do they leave him on there? What's their better option than Isaac Okoro?
Interesting. By the way, can you share this with me after? Because I've been looking for this type of dashboard.
Oh yeah, you have to go into the box score of the game itself. And any game that does not have tracking data. So just for the record, now they will have every game will have tracking data, but there's something about the way that they track the data. They can't do it for every game. For whatever reason, I don't know, the computer can't handle. But yeah, it's really, really helpful because you can see percent time that they each spent on each other. Right, and all that kind of stuff. So it's really helpful. This is how I learned about TJ McConnell cooking Jalen Brunson in the first couple of games and just owning him. But so you're going to see some Okoro on JB, unless he switches it up, which I'm not going to bank on that happening necessarily. You know what I'm saying? But what is his first quarter stuff again? I'm going to go to DraftKings again just as a starting point.
Check it out. I kind of also know, if we're buying low on Tatum, what's his first quarter points? Because we assume he starts off hot.
That's a great call too. Yeah.
Or what you could do they have these things on. I saw last night this guy Camden Katz, shout out him if he's watching.
Yeah,
he fired his first quarter leader.
Yeah,
for Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, that was on FanDuel. I don't think it's on DraftKings for quarter leader.
FanDuel has it.
Here we go. Stat leaders. Yeah.
First quarter point leader.
Plus 190 top point scorer in the first, you're saying?
Yeah. What is
Dude, Brown is plus 330. He just had 15. I mean, how often does
Yeah,
he
I
finish
like
the first
this.
quarter?
Tatum over 6.5 first quarter points to have
Is that what
7
it
points.
is?
Really like that.
Wow.
But I would double down though. Yeah.
Oh, this is top point scorer of the game. Excuse me. First quarter top point scorer. Yeah, it's a little bit closer. And obviously, Donnie is always to be
Yeah.
feared. What did he have? Just going back to game one, I think he had a good amount in the first quarter himself. Here's Q1, 14 for Donnie and 15
Whoa.
for JB.
Sheesh.
Yeah, 9 shots for Donnie as well.
He came out fire. Wow.
So this is all first quarter points. I mean, a little like, I mean, honestly, like 5+ for Jaylen Brown. I mean, he's done that. I know for a fact he's done that like 85% this season. I played it the other day.
Oh, I have a good idea. What's a parlay look like of alt points 4 for Jaylen Brown and alt points 6 for Tatum?
I'm trying to. Oh, here's 6 for Tatum. There we go. So I've got too many on here. I got Jaylen Brown.
You got the 5. Let's see. Or can you parlay that?
Oh, I'm not in. I have to go into the same game parlay tab on DK.
Oh, okay. But that's the problem is it's only available on one book, so you can't. Really
right, that's going to be a problem as well. You want to make sure you don't dick yourself there. First quarter, Jaylen Brown. We can look at 4+. Let me get it out of here. Yeah, because they juice the odds differently, obviously. So this is Jaylen Brown 4 first quarter points. This is Jason Tatum. Oh, come on. Where's Jason? Oh, he's right here.
Around the bottom 4 or 6.
So I have to take 6 as the fewest. Minus 140. It's not awesome. And obviously, if we add Donnie in here, it might look a little different. Those are the only 3 that we can do this with, which is really interesting. If we go all the way down, we get plus 120. I'm not afraid of 5+ for Jaylen Brown. I'm tell you that right now.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna, like I said, the game plan here for me is someone said Okoro over 7.5 points is good. Yeah, that's the play I'm on right now. Yeah, the play. I just think, me personally, it's going to be Tatum and Brown first quarter and let them win
and just take over and just be winning at the half. Yeah, I mean, it's going to take superhuman shit from Donnie, or like I think someone needs to tell Darius Garland the series started, and then maybe he'll play better.
Yeah, Garland. I mean, like you see who he's being defended by. Like he's kind of undersized right now, Garland. You know?
Yeah.
Like with Derrick White and Drew Holiday. Like Drew Holiday has that that toughness to him when he defends you on the perimeter, and then Derrick White's kind of tall. So I mean,
Derrick White has the most blocks of any guard in the league, like for a reason.
So it's like everyone. I get it though. Like the narrative tonight is that everyone. Do you like I'm assuming you like Garland too.
I was thinking about him. Can you talk about him for a minute? Did you?
Yeah, I like it. So here's the thing. It's like there's two coins to this. Like the first side is that like the coach is saying like they want to get him more involved, like maybe more some like off ball motion, like definitely get him his spots. But at the same time, like you can say that, but the defense that they put on him is like the same defense that Tyler Hero had to face. You know, it's like that the Celtics guard defense is nothing to like mess with. So I don't know if Garland. I don't know. It's like. You think he's due for a good game, but this series just may not be for him again.
You thought last series might be a little bit more for him too, because you had Jalen Suggs, but I mean Gary Harris was a menace, because the only good game Garland had last series was when Gary Harris was out. The other 6 were poo-poo, and I guess he was okay in Game 5 or Game 7 rather. But I think it was Game 5 that Gary Harris missed, or Game 4, one of them, and that's when he went off. And like, that is that was correlated. And so now you're talking about Gary Harris that's bigger than Gary Harris, like Derrick White and Drew Holiday, some combo at some point. And Drew's been on Donovan. So Drew's definitely like the main defender on D Mitchell. And when he's out and Garland is in, then we'll get Drew on Garland.
Yeah, exactly.
Derrick White did a fine job on Garland. I 15.5 is so low for somebody that took as many shots as he did. Just to pull that back up real quick. He took the 15 right there. He took 8 threes. And he's just been so cold in the playoffs that, like, I mean, positive regression has to come at some point, but I don't want to bank on. I'm not trying to really get ahead of that with Garland, because I think even if you're trying to, like, the thing with Tatum is if he gets having a good game this game and getting over the points like you like, right? Like, that is something that if we see it once, we're like, well, yeah, okay, he's got the secret down. He's just going to keep doing it. With Garland, he could have one good game, and I'd be like, I don't know what's going to happen next game. I don't think that this is going to kick off a streak that I'm getting ahead of. I think I have to guess the right moment in time that Darius Garland decides to make some shots, because it's like the shittiest thing to say, but he is the definition of make or miss league. Like they're either going in or they ain't, and they're not good looks because of how difficult they are. So you didn't bet anything for Garland, did you?
No, I mean, for the Cavs side, like I said, it's Okoro for now, and I'm like 50-50 with putting out Mobley's over, but I have
Yeah.
like I don't want to go too overboard with this game, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. 100%.
Let's
100%.
see what it is now, though. I'm curious to see
For Garland.
For no, just for Mobley if that line moved.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean it's even odds on FanDuel, but most books have it at minus 130. So
For Mobley,
just to go over 13.5 points.
So that's going up.
Got you. Like I said, I have 4 props in this game.
look do your due diligence, man. Like, and if I can help in any way, let me know. I wanted to look at one more thing for people.
Yeah,
too,
what else?
While you're looking at that, what was the other one that I saw people talking about? Hang on one sec. I think
we talked about most of the players.
Yeah, we really did. I mean, it was I just wanted to really quickly revisit the first quarter stuff because I'm really liking this for even money.
Yeah, what do you like? What are you thinking? Tatum?
The 6+ for Tatum. Yeah, could you see that? Like 6+ for Tatum.
That could be your prop. You like that? 6+?
Yeah, I think I do. I think I gotta lock that in. 5+ for JB. I mean, I don't think 6+ is available for him. If you get a better price than that, cool. I mean, the other Donnie Mitchell first quarter, just adding it to it, like I think he's gonna match him, to be honest. So if I get 5+,
like a market, yeah, this is a nice niche market that I don't think not that many people like take advantage of. So
yeah, I think all 3 of those dudes to get 5 for Jaylen, 6 for Donnie, and 6 for Jason Tatum in the first quarter. I mean, that feels hella doable. Somebody was asking me, I don't see Derrick White's first quarter stuff in here. So it might actually just be up here. But this is because I'm in the same game parlay. So I don't think I can add Derrick White first quarter on here. But man, like alt first quarter stuff for all 3 of those dudes, like they took a combined how many shots in the first quarter? You know, like I said, it was 9 for Donnie. It was 6 for each of the Jays. So 5 means, I mean, hitting 3 of 6 for Jason Tatum without even considering the free throws right here and the threes that could go in. I'm putting that up.
He plays 12 minutes, right? He's allowed to play 12 minutes unless he gets in foul trouble. I think Tatum is probably the safer bet of the 3. Also Mitchell too as well. I don't see anything wrong with anything.
Yeah, and I do think if you're taking first quarter points leader, that's really hard to say. Jaylen Brown plus 300 is the best value. But hell, you play 2 of these dudes and one of them hits, and you're doubling your money. So not a bad look. But yeah, I'm gonna put that in here on the bottom line real quick because I was already like, what am I doing? I'm missing out on these first quarter bets that are just like easy money a lot with Tatum and Brown especially. So I'm putting JB, not the real JB because he played last night, the Celtics JB for 5+ points, which I should just make that 6+, but whatever. Tatum. 6+ points / Mitchell for 6+ points. Mitchell feels like a steal too. I don't see him slowing down at this point. He is somebody, especially against this Celtics team, where he is like the perfect prototype of player to score against the Celtics, in my opinion. So I'm going to keep him on that heater. But I like this little plus 170 on DK. I'm going to lock that in and put it in myself as well because I want that.
God, I'm like really feeling the Mobley, but I don't know.
What's holding you back? Let's try to finish it up before that game starts in like 15-20.
I'm trying to figure out like outs for it. But the thing is like, I feel like the fourth quarter kind of foreshadowed. And you had reporters in the post-game conference kind of like ask Mobley, like, we noticed that you were really aggressive in the fourth quarter. Did something change? Or he's just like, no, I just kind of have to just like be more aggressive on the offensive. And, you have these reporters on Twitter, like calling out Mobley for like, not stepping up offensively. I think he has like a nice matchup here. So
yeah, let me do this real quick. Let me go into the box score. Let me go to tracking and look at touches real quick. Right. So touches for Mobley, he had 60, which was third.
Those front court touches were up though. That's what you want to see.
Yeah. So let me actually go over here.
That's a good point. Yeah. What are those
tracking? Let's look at touches. Go to playoffs. Last game. And I'll go to the Cleveland players. Do team Cleveland. So last game for Cleveland, touches for Mobley were 60. Front court touches were 29. So actually more than Garland. So he was involved in the actual offense, not just like passing the ball.
That's what you want to see for sure.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. The front court touches are always important. Let me see paint touches. 9 of them. With just 2 post-ups. That's not going to be what he does against Papa Al or Luke Cornett. Those dudes are massive. And a little bit bigger than him probably. So But I mean, points per touch at 1, look, I mean, the fourth quarter stuff is going to be there. Like, I just want to look at that real quick for the fourth quarter. Did that impact stuff? I think I can do all, or maybe I can't. Damn, you can't do all quarters here, or you can't split it up by quarters. But you kind of get the point. Like, there's still a good amount of touches. He could have had more. I don't have a reason for you not to take it, except for he just was absent in the first bunch of quarters in the last one.
Yeah, I mean, I just think they'll give the guards hell. And just let Mobley beat them, and Okoro, like, give Okoro the wide open looks, let Mobley beat them inside, and then figure out the rest.
So Philip 0x is coming in from Poland.
Yeah,
Welcome,
that
brother.
would be the correct play. Yeah, I like that.
Which one do you think, Okoro or Mobley?
Oh, for a parlay, I go Mobley.
You like Mobley better because you got the 11.5 there. Yeah. I think he's reliable to take more shots, and like you're saying, like. There's nothing that we're hearing that's like, get Okoro the ball more. We gotta get more Okoro. Like, it's just gonna be how
he can always be forgotten. Like, they may just forget that he's there. So
yeah, that's what that bet is predicated on. Is like, he's gonna be. It's honestly not that far off from my Pritchard bet, to be honest with you. It's like maybe, like, Pritchard might shoot more than Okoro. They were pretty close last game, so I'm not gonna guess either way. But they both could easily see 8 to 12 field goal attempts, and then you do like 6 points on freaking 8 to 10 field goal attempts, and hopefully he gets to the bucket a little bit more. Luke Cornell was kind of a force, but man, Jaylen, I'd love to help you out, brother, but like the Drew Holiday stuff right now, it's tough. And like, I just parlayed 3 dudes and I'm putting that in with my freaking phone. I just parlayed 3 dudes to get the first quarter points there. So I don't know if I'm good on that. Why do you guys give me this news when I'm in the middle of doing a live stream and you're talking about Anunoby being out, and now my emotions are all over the place? And how am I supposed to keep doing a live stream when I know that the Knicks are not going to beat the Celtics now? That sucks, fam. That's really brutal. But let's keep it going. Is there anything else you want to look at this game? Because I know it's going to start.
No, I'm off for this game. Yeah, I'm not gonna put out.
You're good on Mobley then.
I think I'm gonna take it.
I'll let you think about it. I'll go into the next game. I'll show off a couple of things and let you work. I know you have a duty to the people.
All right, let's talk about this next game. Yeah.
All right. But I know you have a duty to the people, like I said, so I don't want to take that away from you.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, man. I'm gonna do it now for my boy Dom D, who's in here. He's in the Discord as Crank Zone, and my guy should be known as Role Player Zone because he knows. He has a feel for these role players. He was like, "Yo, bet Ben Shepherd and Isaiah Jackson," and I was like, "I can't, man. I can't." Like,
I wish I would have known that because I bet Ben Shepherd's under last game. That would have been nice.
You got to get into the Crank Zone because my guy knows what's up. Dom has been on these dudes, so keep that in mind.
Aaron Wiggins.
What's that?
Who's he liking for the role players?
So he likes Aaron Wiggins as the first one that he made me put up here, and I say forced because he forced me to do it. But I got, because he's right, so I gotta listen. So Aaron Wiggins is good, dude. I know we both like Aaron Wiggins when he gets minutes.
You remember that? Hey, you remember the last day of the season? We were on his over 9 and
cash in the first quarter or first half for sure.
Yeah, in that Aaron Wiggins fan. Yeah.
So when you give Aaron Wiggins minutes, boy's kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie. So let's go to that Dallas OKC game real quick. And I think this will get rid of my filters. Yeah. So I'm gonna pull up Ron. Where's he at? Right here, 6.5 points still. That's, I believe, what it was last game. 16 points.
This game's gonna be good. Just like, just want to interrupt because I don't really have a prop. Like, I had four or five props in the other game. This game, I definitely want to like go back and forth with you and see if we can set around on something, because
for sure
we definitely could.
We definitely can. My bets in this game so far, and I'm starting to talk myself into one more that I'll talk about. But Gafford, it feels chalky at this point because I knew as soon as dude, he freaking owns Chet Holmgren, man. Like, he just owns him, you know. So if I just look at his 3 games here with the Mavs, 19, 19, 16 rebounds, 9, 15, 11. The freaking double opened at plus 320. Free sauce was all over that.
Just like that kind of prop feels like as exactly what you just said, a chalky play. Everyone in the community is on it. What can go wrong, you know?
Yeah, I know. That's what scares me about it.
No, it makes too much sense.
I know it does. And like, here's the other thing though. Derrick Lively looked like cheeks, dude. He was bad in this last game. You know what I mean? Like Derrick Lively was, he had turnovers. He was just looking bad, man. So just wrapping up that point though, like I did take him on the PR over, and I knew I was getting a good price when I took it. And I knew I did. I like I said, I was up in the Discord last night. Free Sauce was in there. He threw the first look at it, and it was just like, what do we? Yeah, like even when he was on Washington, he was big boying this dude. These are Washington.
Yeah, well, you think about it too, right? Like this is almost like actually no, this is almost like Zubac, right, versus the Clippers, or Zubac versus the Mavs.
Versus the Mavs, yeah.
Well, in a sense, like they take away Kyrie and Luka, and the other guys beat them.
And that was the only reason. So Free Sauce is also on some unders for okay, nice. We're on the same page here. This is what we were talking about last night together in the Discord, is like, yo, do we go under for Luka PRA? And I was like,
I'm excited to talk about this one.
We'll talk about Luka, and then I promise Crank Zone, I promise Dom,
we're gonna talk about everything. I have some time. Like I'm done with the Celtics game.
Love it. Good. So we're gonna keep it moving, but like let's do Luka real quick, because I'm on Gafford. I know it's chalky, but I got the good price too, so that's what I'm super happy. I got 18.5 for even money, took it and ran. Luka Doncic. Let me pull up that game real quick, because here's my thing on Luka that I'll start with. And like I get the desire to go under on the PR. I think that's a way better look than adding.
Tell me on the rebounds, because I'll hear your case first. I want to hear everything you think about.
So the rebounds to me are like, it's a little dependent on, do you think that he is not fully healthy? And I just don't.
No, he's not.
I also don't know. Did I get trolled earlier when I read the tweet from NBA Central that said an unnamed source reported that the Mavs players were relieved when Luka left the game, because it felt like they finally got to just play open court basketball and not worry about what Luka's doing as the sun that everything rotates around. That's if that's at all true, that's not a great time to be bringing that up, and don't know where that came from. Almost feels like a thunder plant more than anything.
Oh my God.
That was a weird thing to come out before game 2 of a series you're down 1-0 in the conference semis. But the 14 rebound chances, like when Luka gets like 12 rebounds, he's got like 20 to 22 rebound chances. And his rebound chances come from the same stuff that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum's rebound chances came from last series, where they just put him on a non-high usage player, a low usage player, and then it's almost like he's playing a zone, because he never leaves the baseline area when he's he's literally just like, you go guard him up. Okay, now you go guard him. And he's just standing there sending dudes at the ball and not going to the ball. So there's that. There's the Dorcher chamber. Let's never forget the Dorcher chamber for sure. Great point. But then there's also just like, if he is a little bit hobbled, which he looks it, then like, how is he going to be? He's not chasing rebounds and diving on the floor, right? That ain't Luka Doncic. So that's the thing with the rebounds. The problem with the points too that scares me is like, this is head to head, so I'm not worried about this. Let me pull up playoffs real quick. Like, obviously he's going under this very consistently. The points are at 31.5. Still super high. And he seems to be settling for threes. Like that's where what are we at here? I mean, he's dumbed them down a little bit. So that point's actually a little bit moot. In the playoffs, he stopped taking the 14. I thought he was still taking 14. He's now taking about 9 to 10, which is good. But also, like, my main point was I thought he was settling for threes when he could be driving. And the reason he would do that is because he's hurt. It's almost like why Jalen Brunson fucked me in the 3-point prop last night, was like he couldn't go to the rim anymore, so he pulled up for 3 because his foot freaking hurt, and that's
that one. That was an unfortunate. That was a bad 50%. Yeah, what can you do?
Yeah, if you're gonna hit 75% of your threes, then that's just what it is. But anyway, so that's my thing with Luka. I haven't played him yet or put him out. But I have some bets off of Luka that I like as a result of this. And I do like his assists more than anything. Plus 122 ain't a bad number, as this dipped over to 10.5 on FanDuel, and it's still 9.5 everywhere else. So let me take a step back before I talk about the other bets off of Luka and see what you think in general.
Right. Yeah. So, my first initial lean would have been his over 9.5 assists. Yeah. Unfortunately, that got torched by the Twitter community 2 days ago. So it's already at 10.5, loses the edge there.
Yeah.
Then I liked his under 31.5 points. Right. We kind of said it. You had the Dorcher chamber, Lou Dort, physicality, defense on him. And as well as like, there is so many different types of things that Diagonal is throwing on Luka, not just Lou Dort, right? So like you take Giddey out, then you have Aaron Wiggins you have to go through. Then you have like Jaylen Williams or like Chet Holmgren you have to pass to. Like they have a lot of answers to defend Luka.
Yeah.
The problem is though, is that this is game 2. Luka is a competitor. like this is the best team that Luka has been on. So like he needs to like win these games.
Right.
Does he just say, fuck it? Like I want to take 25 shots. It's like
Most likely.
This is like a desperation type game. That's what I don't know what the level of intensity will be here for him, but I lean the under 31.5.
Yeah.
It's available on FanDuel now. Every other book has it at 30.5. But the interesting thing is too, as well, is that he landed on 31 points only 2 times this year. So regardless if it's 30.5 or 31.5, there's not that big of a difference. But that would be that's kind of like my favorite look right now for this game. I actually have another one too, on the Thunder side. But that's kind of like my thoughts with Luka. It's just that they have answers. They have answers to throw at him, but what type of Luka? Like, do we see like a Slovenian Luka tonight?
Slovenian. So what if you can still get the 9.5?
I like the 31.5. That's nice. Like it's just scary though,
It is. It's always terrifying. It's a dude that's taking 25 freaking shots, but this seems kind of correlated, does it not?
I like that. Very solid. Yeah. Maybe what if you could do under 33.5 and over 9.5 assists?
Can you get the all under on FanDuel?
You had like 20 potential assists. That was my first look.
Yeah, exactly. I think you got to go to DraftKings to do the alt under if you want to do it that way. But that's not a bad look. Like if you get it up to the 33.5, like you said, that does seem to be a pretty important number for him. And then the assists I like because the potential assists were there. It feeds into the narrative of he's not fully healthy. So what I noticed was he's taking a lot of he makes that corner pass as well as anybody, maybe better than anybody in the league from up top. Like a handful of dudes at most are capable of standing 30 feet from the basket above the break and making it to the corner with an easy pass, probably no look on the money, right? So that's the one thing. He was doing that super early, though, in the possessions. Usually that's I'm going to take my time, then I'm going to get into the lane. If you do crowd me after I pivot 17 times, then I'm going to go into the corner, right? But now it was like he was just like, God, I don't want to have to deal with Kason Wallace or Jaylen Williams or Jordan anymore.
They have a lot of guys that could throw at him.
I'm just going to throw it into the corner. So I think the over assist for Luka and the under on the points is correlated because of the matchup. I think as a result, who's going to be standing in the corner is another question you ask yourself. And what I came up with, because he did it so much in the game one, and like Derrick Jones Jr. just disappears from time to time, so I ain't betting on him anymore. But like Josh Green, I think is ripe for this series.
Okay.
And that's why I took him. What's it at now? You can wow. I took it at over 5.5 for plus 105. You can get a plus 108 on FanDuel right now for Josh Green. And I mean, I was always looking for that. I did it every game with Herb Jones. I was like over points, because his points props were still listed as though he was taking 5 to 6 shots a game. Herb Jones took 14 shots in one of those games last series because of the fact that, everybody's better than Brandon Ingram right now. He was hurt, but Luka's a little bit hurt too. So it's similar concept is my final point, which that's why I like Josh Green. 32% of his shots are coming from the corner. So he's the same thing as Payne Pritchard. It's like, we'll call your number when we need you, bro. Just go stand in the corner and we'll get you. And so like third worst, like they give up the second most field goals made from the corner 3 for this Thunder team. He took 9 of them or 8 of them last game, hit 3 of them. And I just think he's going to continue to get 8 to 10 shots. So if you're telling me he needs to make 3 buckets that are 2s because they got out on him on the 3-point line and he got to the bucket. I mean, dude, there's not very many better athletes on the floor than this dude at this point, right? So I like him going to the bucket. I like him with open corner 3s. I took him over 5.5 or plus 105. I still think that's a good look, but that's one of my bets off of the idea that Luka's going to keep doing that. Yeah, and now I'm really talking myself into Luka under points and over assists.
No, yeah, that's something that I was battling back and forth, but I want to just offer a different perspective on the Josh Green.
Please.
I'm assuming that this is the thing I don't want to – this is like an overreaction type thing. I'm afraid that people might do with Josh Green is like you see that he got huge minutes, but that came with the fact that P.J. Washington was in foul trouble. Derrick Jones Jr. was in foul trouble. But the thing with Josh Green is that he's leaped over Dante Exum in the depth chart. So his minutes are definitely there. He's definitely going to be used when Derrick Jones Jr. is out to defend Shai Gilgeous, right? Like he's a Shai Gilgeous guy.
Yeah.
So he definitely has a role in terms of defense. So the minutes will be there. I'm just I don't want to hop on this game. I think it would be better if we do it in game 3, especially being at home. The role players perform better at home.
Good point.
because I don't know if like we're reacting too much to like the minutes, because like I said, PJ Washington was in foul trouble. So
it's a fair point.
Yeah,
it's a fair point. I played it last night. I put the half a unit on it. That's what I gave out when I played it. So yeah, I also was a little bit worried about THJ, but I'm off that concern. I don't think he's still yet.
I don't know if he gets a role this series, man. Like, I think Josh Green is taking the Tim Hardaway Jr. It's like you go, point guard to shooting guard. Luka and Kyrie are locks to play 42 plus minutes. Then you got 48 minutes to go around with, Gafford and Lively. PJ Washington probably plays like 40 plus minutes. Derrick Jones Jr. plays 40 plus minutes. Like, how does Tim Hardaway Jr. find his way in the rotation?
There's no room, at that point for him. So I fully agree with that. So if Josh Green it would be Josh Green's minutes. That's kind of that would be my fear. That's why I was waiting to see if there was anything for that. But the other thing I have off that too is I want to look at Kyrie, but I want to let you give yours first because I know you have one for this game.
So another one of my leans. So another lean was I liked the Luka under. I also like PJ Washington over 10.5 points.
Okay.
I think the threes would be the best bet for him over 1.5 threes, just because OKC has been doing a better job as far as protecting transition points, and that's kind of like where PJ Washington kind of gets most of his points if he's not shooting threes from.
Yeah.
So I think the threes may be the best look. It's a bit juice. What is that? Maybe like minus 130.
This is.
I think points is solid. I just don't know about the upside on the points. Like how many?
Minus 130.
I think. Because I think his role, unlike Josh Green, like he needs to be out there for 30 minutes. Oh, it's
minus 135.
Okay.
It might still. I mean, I see your logic though. So, and I can go down to this is obviously one of the best, if not the best part about Props Madness. It's one of them is like seeing the oppo defense and the play type. So spot up, and this is a really good transition team. So to your point, the only thing he's doing more than spotting up and free throws or whatever, it's still like him probably in transition. But it's transition for PJ, to your point.
You're cutting that out. You're cutting out, 20% of his points, right?
Yeah. That's the fear with the points. You got to get those juiced. Everything's juiced for him unless you take 11.5 on FanDuel for the points, it looks like.
Right.
And I mean, at that point, you're still talking about like, is he going to hit 2 threes in this game? Because I think he does need to hit 2 threes to get to that if he's not getting transition points to the point you're making here. So threes would be the play, but they're hip to that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Right now with the way that they're going to make you really make a decision about this like cusper bet. It's on the cusp of going up over or under at this point. So he's a little bit scary. That was one of your leans, right? With PJ.
Yeah. So this one, like I have 4 plays out. This is very, very close to being my 5th one. Jaylen Williams actually is under 20.5 points. It's very interesting, right? Like you think that he is at home, he's the role player, he's the second option to SGA, but 18 points, right? And mind you, this is with PJ. You assume like the defenders are going to be Derrick Jones Jr. is going to be on SGA.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a mix with Kyrie Irving and PJ Washington on Jaylen Williams.
Yeah, we saw that last game.
PJ Washington was in foul trouble most of the game, so he didn't really see him too much. I think that's going to change. And the thing that differentiates Jaylen Williams and SGA, Jaylen Williams uses the pick and roll play type as is more, he uses it more frequently than SGA does. And I think that's actually going to hurt him because if you're switching, like the way that Dallas works is that they switch a lot. They roam this way, like it's hard for you to drive up against. And I mean, in the 4th quarter, he shot 100% from the field. Like he just was on one. So
Interesting. Yeah. So that's the only reason he even got close. And I cannot believe I'm saying that like J-Dub is running the pick and roll that much compared to Shai. I mean, he's still running.
So you can actually go on the playoffs. So like they released a playoff version of this on the NBA stats.
Oh,
really helpful. And you'll see like he almost doubles his frequency using the pick and roll.
Yep.
I mentioned that because SGA, right? Like if he doesn't use pick and rolls too much, he only has Derrick Jones Jr. to beat. And like, 40% he uses that a lot more.
Wow.
And it's like the way that the Mavericks protect the paint is that they have a roamer like what do you call it? Gafford.
Yeah.
Who you don't want to switch on because he is a good candidate to get your shot blocked.
Yeah,
You know,
100%. Yeah, that's a fair
they have a
point, yeah.
they have a pretty good rim defense, and the problem is though is 20.5 points. It seems like it's accurately set,
Yeah.
but I do like leaning the under on. You know.
Yeah. I would be playing some unders for him. I the only worry I would have for him is did he just have a bad game? But there
Check
are
out
some
the fourth quarter, but like, yeah, while you're at it, like you'll see. I mean, and you can click on the shots to see like what those shots look like. They were like,
oh wow,
tightly contested. Like I don't even know how they went in type shots.
Yeah, and he went 4 for 4. Yeah, so that all adds up to me. Yeah, I think that's a solid.
10 of his 18 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
This could be a Mobley type situation, though. You know, same thing happened with Mobley.
Right. Yeah. It's very similar. It's very, very similar, except for I would say the Thunder are in a much better position to take on these Mavs. We didn't. Let's do 2 real quick for Dom D, and then I do want to roll so I can get some stuff in on the Discord and let you get back to it as well. But the anything for Giddey or Aaron Wiggins, and I would have to look really far into it.
Giddey, I think the value is gone compared to what it was earlier on the day. I think the line was 19.5 PRA. Now it's 17.5.
Oh, you're talking under.
The rebounds and assists was 10.5. Now it's 8.5. We know what the problem with Giddey is. In close games in the playoffs, they're not going to trust him to close games. Like honestly, I don't even know why he's even playing in this game. Like they have three better players you can play over him. He'll play 6 minutes. Like he'll start with the starters. He'll play 6 minutes or 6 to 8 minutes. Second quarter, they won't bring him back, and then they'll start him again in the third quarter. He probably plays like 22 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they roll out with Wiggins, right? Or Isaiah Joe or Casey Wallace. They have so many different guys that they could use for different purposes.
Yeah.
But like that hit rate, I mean, like you see it right there, 52%. I don't think there's value there. I think it's like gone.
Because it was at 19.5 and there was a lot more value.
Yeah, you see that? Like
just drops. Yeah. And I put him at 16 to 22 minutes.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair.
I think it's fair. So yeah, we both prefer unders for Giddey, by the way.
I do as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was on points and assists under more so last game, but I also thought he might make a couple of threes since I thought he was going to take like 8 of them. He did leave the game right for a bit with that bloody lip or whatever. I don't know.
That could be him.
So there was a bit of him coming out that kind of impacted him, I'm sure, but he's a stay away at this point because everybody was on his under, like everybody and their mom for sure, like you said, was on his under. So the last thing would be Aaron Wiggins because I do need to get out of here. So anything from you for Aaron Wiggins, or is that something you haven't even really looked at and you're not feeling it?
No, I definitely think he has a really impactful role. Like I think this is like a 15 to 20 minute type series for him.
Okay.
The thing that I'm a little worried about was that he was too efficient last game. 5 for 7, 3 for 4 from 3. Yeah. Right. But they definitely need him out there for an extra layer of defense if Dort gets through him, on Luka, right?
Right.
Luka, if he gets off of Dort, then you have Aaron Wiggins, who is capable of defending Luka. So he's earning his minutes this series.
Yeah.
PR was 8.5, or I think it was 7.5 last night. Like the problem is like most of the value is gone in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing there for Wiggins anymore, to your point. The PR is gone.
Yeah, I mean, someone had his I like him to hit a 3 this game. I don't know what that is, like minus 120 probably. No.
Wow, minus 148 on DraftKings. That's the best number you can get.
Yeah, it's like
you can't even get the minus 120 for him to hit 1-3. Yeah, they kind of juice these away from having any value on either side, to be honest.
So
how many did he shoot last game? Yeah, it took 4 of them to make 1. I mean, 25% of is a decent number for him, but yeah, I think it's kind of losing me there, to be honest. So I'm out on that as well. But
but as far as like this game, I think it's the Luka under we could maybe do, or the Jaylen Williams under. I think could be sneaky.
Yeah, I think that's both really good. I'm gonna put a little bit on Luka under the core points on FanDuel. I'm gonna put that here so that who's ever still around can at least get that one because I'm gonna put that in the Discord. I'm gonna look at it a little bit further, honestly.
Yeah, shoot me a text afterwards if you want to talk more.
Yeah, I definitely will. Yeah, because I'm thinking Luka 31.5 under 30.15 points combined with you can still get the 9.5 over assists on FanDuel. That gets you to plus 200. So if I combine that with over 9.5 assists plus 200, it's plus 199 on FanDuel was the number. So I still like that, to be honest. I think that's worth a sprinkle at at best. But cool, dude. I appreciate the time, bro. I'm glad you jumped on. So we'll track the record. We are 23-1 here for PB.
Yep, yeah, 4 official. 27.
So let's see how it goes. We'll see. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more after this too about the J-Dub stuff if you want to go back and forth.
All right, awesome. Yeah, thanks for getting.
All right, bro. Yeah, dude, thanks for coming on as always, man. You make it a better time. So for everybody, definitely want to check him out on Twitter, obviously at PropBomb, and then obviously has the Fire Discord that he just hands out bangers. You're almost at 100 plus 100 year to date, right?
Oh yeah, we're getting there, which is crazy on 1 unit stuff, right? So we're getting there.
Love that, man. Happy for you, dude. So everything else, jump in the Discord. Link is in the description of the video if you want to get in the LYB one, and then use code LYB24 for props.cash. If you don't have anything there, we'll be coming back soon, I'm sure. Appreciate you being on, brother, and we'll talk soon. All right, man?
Yes, sir.
All right, fam. Happy betting, y'all.